Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you're tuned into the Lions Den, official source of UCCS Sports. Your UCCS women's soccer team also was in action this past weekend as they went 1-0-1, earning their first draw of the season. At least Friday night, what a tough opponent there in the third-ranked team in the nation, Colorado Mines. And that really was a tough matchup as the Mountain Lions fell 6-1 there on Friday night in the homecoming game. Yep. But Sunday they bounced back and they look, again, as good as we've seen them look all season long, like last Sunday when they got that victory. They were looking good. What do you think, Charlie?
Well, first off, you kind of have to give your credit to Colorado Mines, number 3 in the nation. And
well, they played like they were number 3 in the
nation. They were
nation.
number 3 in the nation, 6-1. And I know we keep talking about it, but I really do think this one lit a fire underneath these girls. I mean, it was homecoming night. It was a tough one, and it was just a tough one. But coming back and really talking about that CCU game, and I got a chance to watch that one on the live stream. Just a quick shout out to Mac Buckley, broadcasted that one. He did excellent. But it was a fun game to watch because it was a back and forth contest, went to double overtime, and a lot of close calls in that one. And it was fun to see a lot of other players stepping up with, Bethany Littlefield. Michaela Mansfield has just been on a tear. And that's what we've seen. And after that hat trick, she has been consecutively scoring and has been a scoring threat. And we all knew that she could do this. And it really is why she got the RMAC preseason player of the year, is because she can score and she has that mentality to get her team in these games. And that's what they've been lacking per se, just because scoring has been tough for them this year, but it's definitely been fun to watch, and especially that Colorado Christian game was a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of a different setup versus that CCU game. So you saw Freeze drop back in the middle defensive back. Sammy Brown went into the outside back, giving a little speed on the outside. So we're still moving some people around a little bit, which I think is awesome. And they came out and they were doing great. So I don't know why, when we be able to move, and then we do well, and then for some reason we sit in that for a little while, and then we struggle a little bit. I don't know if these girls just like to move around and play all the positions, but that was definitely good to see on Sunday. Different people stepping up. Bethany had an awesome game, so good for her as well. Dorothy and Grace, they did well this weekend, combined together. They had 6 saves between the two of them, which was good as well. So I mean, all around they did pretty good this weekend. I mean, when you play number 3 team in the nation, you kind of just have to, you got to be able to sit back and know where your team's at, where you're settled, but still come out and do your best. And they did, but it's kind of hard when you get down by so many goals at a point that that mentality just kind of settles in a little bit and you get frustrated. So.
Yeah, to me, I saw the women's soccer team unveil their newest weapon, a cannon by the name of Bethany Littlefield. Yeah. Where has that leg been? She blasted one from like 40 yards out yesterday, and one of the most impressive shots on goal I've seen all season long.
Yeah, that watching that actually reminded me of Taylor Braden. Taylor Braden used to sit and have a free kick from the 35-yard line and just curve it into the goal.
Bend it like Beckham.
That's right. It's not her last name, so we're going to call it Bend It Like Bethany.
I like it.
Bend It Like Bethany. I don't know if it bent at all. That was a laser straight on, though.
But
the goalkeeper was like, I don't want any part of this, and just ran away. I mean, that didn't happen.
Right.
But if that was me on goal, I definitely would have.
But that's definitely who I see in Bethany a little bit, was Taylor Braden, and just taking those far shots. Sometimes you just have to shoot, and finally, we're being able to have that mentality to just, when you're open, take a shot, see what happens. So I thought that was good for Bethany to be able to try this weekend.
Absolutely. And how about, again, Michaela Mansfield, you mentioned her. It was 6-0 on Friday until Mansfield got a goal back for UCCS, which was her 7th goal of the season. And then on Sunday, another near hat trick. She got 2 more goals yesterday against CCU. That's 6 goals in 3 games of action. She's scored in the last 3 consecutive games. 2 more games, and she's tied for the program record. So can't say enough about Michaela Mansfield. And our own Mac Buckley met up with Michaela Mansfield after yesterday's match against CCU. Let's go ahead and cut to that post-game interview right now.
Mac Buckley here after UCCS Mountain Lions just had a good tying game against Colorado Christian University. Here we have Michaela Mansfield, Mountain Lions Stadium here. Michaela, how are you feeling after that game? What a good game.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot more high energy and high paced than Friday, and I think that really helped out our overall play as a team.
Yeah, much different game from Friday. You had a big game today. You got 2 awesome goals, 6 shots, 2 of those shots on net, 2 goals out of it. How do you get so accurate with your shots being 2 shots on goal and 2 goals?
It's just really just a lot of repetition and practice and making sure that, I'm always trying to get things on frame. And, after playing for so long, it's kind of like I know where the goal is. I just got to make sure that the ball's getting there. So
yeah, made some great plays, making some corner kicks, and then you're stepping into the play there. Looked like you were trying to catch the goalie off. I noticed you sometimes come from that left side and then cut across and then get the shot on net. What's your mentality when you're driving to the net like that?
Well, when I do come, down the outside, it's really pulling out the defenders and the keeper close towards me, and then usually the idea is just to cut it back so the keeper's out of position and I'm pulling defenders out, so hopefully the idea is that someone will be there in the middle to really finish it off. So we did have a few of those, but they did pretty well defending it. And so.
Yeah, and there was a couple of those passes that we saw you driving down by that goal line and then just missing so close there in the middle. But a big change from the first half to the second half. You ladies were down by 2 goals, came back, scored 3 goals, took the lead 3-2. Can you describe at all like what happened there to build that momentum?
Well, I think it's in the soccer world, 2-0 is the most dangerous score, and really once we got that first free kick in, that really gave us a boost, and once Bethany scored her second goal, that gave us a lot more momentum to keep going forward. And so that really kind of like changed the game, and it's crazy how the momentum can shift from one team to the other so quickly. And unfortunately, we just kind of let one slip right after, and but that's the name of the game. But it definitely helped our momentum, and the second half really pushes people to play harder when you know that you have that momentum going forward.
If you wouldn't mind elaborating on the first goal, that free kick. Weren't sure if you were going to pass it or shoot it.
Yeah.
You got a great shot on it, able to hit the goalie's glove, then hit the crossbar, and then go bar down is kind of what we call it in hockey. What do you call it in soccer here? And what are your thoughts on that play?
I was really looking, I wanted to get a little bit of a spin on it around the wall, so that's kind of where I was going forward, and of course I'm going to shoot it. So, but I mean, really looking just for that far post so that if the keeper did deflect it, it would kind of go off wide to somebody. But luckily, just she hit it and kind of bounced in. So
very smart play
there.
Michaela Mansfield with your women's soccer team, UCCS Mountain Lions, getting the tie here against Colorado Christian University. Thank you so much for your time, Michaela.
Thank you.
And that was Michaela Mansfield meeting up with our own Mac Buckley after yesterday's matchup against CCU. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to Sammy Brown as well, because there was a play late. I don't know if you fellows remember this at all, but a play really late in the game. And CCU was looking to take another shot right on goal, and it was looking like it was going to go right in if not for Sammy Brown coming out of nowhere to make the defensive stop. That, in all likelihood, could have saved that game for UCCS and allowed the tie to happen. So great play by her, and of course by Michaela Mansfield, 2 goals for her yesterday.